A 6-year-old girl grabbed the biker's hand in the grocery store parking lot. "Please help," she whispered, her voice shaking with terror. "Your son isn't breathing. He's on the ground and he won't wake up." The biker's blood turned to ice. His son was supposed to be with his ex-girlfriend 3 blocks away. When he reached the apartment and saw what was on the ground next to his unconscious 4-year-old boy, he collapsed to his knees and his world stopped spinning. The story begins on a Tuesday afternoon in Portland, Oregon, where Marcus "Bones" Patterson, a former Army medic and sergeant-at-arms for the Iron Brotherhood Motorcycle Club, is grocery shopping for the clubhouse. Marcus is 43, built like a linebacker, covered in tattoos that tell stories of 20 years in the club. He has a 4-year-old son named Liam, a bright-eyed kid with his father's dark hair and his mother's smile. Marcus and Liam's mother Ashley broke up 2 years ago. It was messy. Ashley struggled with addiction, in and out of rehab 3 times while they were together. Marcus fought for custody, but Ashley got clean long enough to keep joint custody. Liam spends weekdays with Ashley and weekends with Marcus. Marcus doesn't trust Ashley's judgment, especially about the men she dates. But the family court decided she deserved another chance. This particular Tuesday, Liam is supposed to be at Ashley's apartment 3 blocks from the grocery store. Marcus plans to pick him up in 2 hours for their weekend together. He's loading groceries into his truck when a small hand tugs on his leather vest. Marcus turns around. A little girl stands there, maybe 6 years old, with tangled brown hair and tear-streaked cheeks. She's wearing a dirty pink shirt and no shoes. Her eyes are wide with panic. "Please help," she says, grabbing his hand with both of hers. "Your son isn't breathing." Marcus's heart stops. "What? Where?" "At our apartment. He's on the floor. He won't wake up." The girl is crying now, her whole body shaking. "My mom said not to tell anyone, but I got scared. Please help him." "Show me." Marcus abandons his groceries and runs, following the girl down the street. She's fast despite her bare feet, leading him 3 blocks to a rundown apartment complex Marcus recognizes immediately. Ashley's building. They reach apartment 214 on the 2nd floor. The door is slightly open. Marcus pushes through and the smell hits him first. Cigarette smoke. Something chemical. And underneath it all, the unmistakable smell of overdose. He smelled it before, in the Army, in field hospitals. His training kicks in immediately. Liam is lying on the living room floor, 4 years old, wearing his favorite dinosaur shirt, completely unconscious. His lips have a blue tint. He's not breathing. Marcus drops to his knees beside his son. "Liam! Liam, wake up!" No response. Marcus checks for a pulse. It's there but weak, thready, barely detectable. Liam's chest isn't moving. Respiratory arrest. That's when Marcus sees it. On the coffee table 2 feet away, white powder residue, a broken pill, and drug paraphernalia. Marcus's medical training identifies it instantly. Fentanyl. His 4-year-old son has been exposed to fentanyl. "Call 911, Marcus shouts to the little girl. She runs to find a phone. Marcus starts CPR immediately, his Army medic training taking over his body while his mind screams in terror. 2 rescue breaths first, tilting Liam's small head back gently, pinching his tiny nose, sealing his mouth over Liam's. He watches his son's chest rise with the breath, once, twice, then chest compressions. For a 4-year-old child, he uses one hand, the heel of his palm centered on Liam's sternum, pressing down about 2 inches at a rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. The Bee Gees' song "Stayin' Alive" runs through his head, the rhythm every CPR instructor teaches. Marcus learned this in the Army during combat lifesaver training. He practiced on dummies, then on soldiers in field hospitals in Afghanistan. He saved lives with these skills, brought men back from the edge of death. But this isn't a soldier in a war zone. This isn't a training dummy. This is his baby boy, his only child, the person he loves more than anything in the world. Liam's skin is so soft under his hands. His chest is so small. Marcus is terrified he'll press too hard, break ribs, cause more damage. But he knows from training that broken ribs heal. Brain death doesn't. Come on, Liam, breathe. Breathe for Daddy. His voice cracks. 30 compressions, 2 rescue breaths. 30 compressions, 2 rescue breaths. Marcus's hands are shaking, but his training keeps them steady. He's performed CPR dozens of times, but never on his own child, never on someone he loves more than his own life. The rational part of his brain knows he's doing it right. The terrified father part thinks he's failing, that it's not enough, that his son is slipping away despite everything. The little girl comes back. I called. They're coming. Good girl. What's your name? Emma. Emma, is there a mom or dad here? Emma shakes her head. My mom left with her boyfriend. They said to watch the baby, but then your son started playing and he found the pill and he put it in his mouth, and then he fell down and wouldn't wake up. Marcus's vision goes red with rage, but he forces himself to focus. Liam is turning bluer. The CPR isn't enough. He needs naloxone, Narcan, the opioid reversal drug. Does Ashley have any? Would she keep it in the house? Emma, look in the bathroom. Look for a nasal spray or a box that says Narcan. Can you do that? Emma runs. Marcus continues CPR. 30 compressions, 2 breaths. His son's face is so small, so innocent. Liam was playing. Kids put things in their mouths. He found a pill and didn't know it would kill him. Emma returns empty-handed. I can't find anything. Marcus has naloxone in his truck. He always carries it. Iron Brotherhood policy after they lost a member to overdose 3 years ago. But his truck is 3 blocks away. Liam doesn't have 3 minutes. Marcus hears sirens. Thank God. The paramedics arrive 90 seconds later, running up the stairs with equipment. A female paramedic takes over chest compressions while her partner prepares naloxone. How long has he been down? She asks. 3 minutes, maybe 4. Fentanyl exposure. He's 4 years old, 20 kilos. The paramedic administers naloxone nasally, 1 spray in each nostril. They wait. 10 seconds, 20, 30, nothing. Marcus's world is ending. His son is dying. The paramedic prepares a second dose. Come on, little man. She administers the second dose. 5 seconds. 10. Liam gasps. His eyes fly open and he starts crying, a beautiful, terrifying sound. He's breathing. Shallow and fast, but breathing. Liam. Marcus grabs his son's hand. Daddy's here. You're okay. You're okay. The paramedics move quickly, getting Liam onto a stretcher, starting an IV, checking vitals. Liam is conscious but groggy, confused, scared. Marcus rides in the ambulance, holding Liam's small hand, whispering that everything will be okay even though nothing is okay. At the hospital, doctors take Liam immediately. Marcus paces the emergency room, his hands still shaking from adrenaline. Police arrive within 15 minutes. 2 officers, one of them, Detective Sarah Chen, who Marcus recognizes from club interactions. Mr. Patterson, Detective Chen says, we need to talk about what happened. Marcus tells them everything. Ashley's apartment, Liam on the floor, the drugs on the table, Emma, the little girl with no shoes who saved Liam's life by getting help. Where's Ashley? Marcus asks. We're looking for her. The apartment is empty except for Emma. We have officers there now processing the scene. Emma is alone. Child Services is with her. If this story is touching your heart, please like and subscribe. What about Liam? Is he going to be okay? A doctor comes out before Detective Chen can answer. Mr. Patterson? Liam is stable. The naloxone worked. We're monitoring him closely, but he should make a full recovery. Marcus nearly collapses with relief. Can I see him? In a few minutes. He's asking for you. Detective Chen touches Marcus's arm. I need to tell you something. When our officers searched the apartment, they found more than just fentanyl. There were 3 other children hidden in a back bedroom. Marcus's blood runs cold. What? 3 kids, ages 2 to 5, all unconscious from fentanyl exposure. Paramedics are treating them now. They're all alive because you called it in when you did. If you'd waited even 5 more minutes, we'd have 4 dead children. The twist hits Marcus like a freight train. This wasn't just negligence. This was systematic. Ashley's apartment was being used as a drug operation, and children were the collateral damage. Ashley has been living with a man named Derek Cole. Detective Chen continues. He's a known dealer. We've been watching him for months but couldn't get enough evidence for a warrant. What you stumbled into today just gave us everything we need. Ashley knew, Marcus says, his voice hollow. She knew there were drugs around Liam. We believe so. We're building the case now. Police raid Derek Cole's network over the next 48 hours. What they find destroys Marcus piece by piece. Ashley's apartment wasn't the only one. Derek was running a sophisticated drug manufacturing and distribution operation out of 4 different apartments across Portland, using them as production sites and stash houses. He was deliberately targeting single mothers, women with addiction issues and custody of young children, offering them free drugs in exchange for letting him use their apartments. The children in those apartments were exposed to dangerous levels of fentanyl daily, breathing in powder residue, touching contaminated surfaces, finding pills that looked like candy. Derek chose women with children on purpose. He knew police were less likely to raid apartments where children lived without overwhelming evidence. He used the kids as human shields. The mothers were too addicted or too frightened to report him. He threatened their custody, their lives, their families. He told them if they talked, he'd make sure child services took their kids, and they'd go to prison for child endangerment. In total, police find 9 children across the 4 locations. 7 survived because Marcus found Liam when he did, triggering the investigation that led to the raids. 2 children, a 3-year-old boy named Tyler, and a 5-year-old girl named Sophia, in different apartments, died from fentanyl exposure weeks before Marcus found Liam. Their deaths happened on separate occasions, and Derek had convinced their mothers that reporting the deaths would get them arrested for murder, so they stayed silent out of fear and grief and addiction. Derek helped dispose of the bodies in storage units. Police found them during the raids, small remains that told a story of preventable tragedy. The FBI takes over the case. What started as one child on a living room floor becomes Operation Safe Haven, a multi-state investigation into drug trafficking and child endangerment. Derek Cole is arrested along with 12 other people in his network. Ashley is arrested and charged with criminal mistreatment, child endangerment, and being an accessory to manslaughter. The trial happens 6 months later. Marcus sits in the courtroom every single day, watching as prosecutors lay out the evidence. Photos of Liam unconscious on that floor. Medical testimony about fentanyl exposure in children. Testimony from Emma, the 6-year-old girl who saved Liam's life. Emma testifies that she'd seen pills on tables and counters in her apartment for months. Her mother told her never to touch them, never to tell anyone about them. But when Liam stopped breathing, Emma knew she had to break the rules. She'd seen Marcus before when he dropped Liam off. She remembered his truck. She ran to find him because she knew he was Liam's dad, and dads are supposed to protect their kids. Ashley testifies too, crying, saying she didn't know how dangerous it was. She was using again, she admits. Derek supplied her drugs and said he just needed to store some things at her apartment. She didn't know about the other children. She didn't know Liam would find a pill. The jury doesn't buy it. Ashley is found guilty on all counts. She gets 8 years in prison. Derek Cole gets 4 consecutive life sentences without parole for manufacturing fentanyl, child endangerment resulting in death, manslaughter, and running a drug operation. The other 12 people in his network get between 5 and 20 years each. Emma and the other surviving children are placed with family members or into foster care. Emma's mother loses custody permanently. Emma is adopted by her grandmother, who lives in Eugene, and keeps in touch with Marcus because Emma asks about Liam constantly. 4 years later, Marcus sits on his back porch on a warm Saturday afternoon, watching Liam, now 8 years old, play with his new dog in the yard. Liam has no memory of that day. The doctors said that's normal, that his brain shut down during the trauma and didn't form those memories. Marcus is grateful for that. He remembers enough for both of them. Liam is healthy and happy. He lives full-time with Marcus now, who has full custody. The family court ruling was immediate and permanent after Ashley's conviction. Liam sees a therapist once a month, not because he remembers the overdose, but because growing up without a mother leaves scars anyway. The Iron Brotherhood Motorcycle Club changed after that day. Ghost, the club president, held an emergency meeting within 72 hours of the incident. He declared that every single member must carry naloxone at all times, without exception. No excuses, no forgetting. If you wear the patch, you carry naloxone. Period. They partnered with the county health department to offer free naloxone training to the community every month. In 4 years, Iron Brotherhood members have administered naloxone 17 times in parking lots, gas stations, parks, and street corners, saving 17 lives from overdose. Marcus became an advocate for child safety. He speaks at schools, community centers, and parent groups about the dangers of fentanyl exposure in children. He teaches CPR classes specifically focused on pediatric emergencies. He shares Liam's story not to traumatize people but to prepare them. One pill can kill a child. One moment of inattention can end a life. The statistics are horrifying. Pediatric fentanyl exposures increased by over 100 times in the past decade. Most happen at home. Most are accidental. Most are preventable. Marcus preaches 3 rules: lock up all medications and drugs, carry naloxone, and learn CPR. Those 3 things save lives. Emma visits twice a year. She's 10 now, a smart kid who wants to be a doctor. She and Liam play together like old friends. Liam doesn't know Emma saved his life. Marcus plans to tell him when he's older, when he can understand what a hero looks like. Sometimes heroes are 6-year-old girls with bare feet who run 3 blocks to find help. Marcus still has nightmares about that day. He dreams about arriving 30 seconds later. 1 minute later. He dreams about Liam's blue lips and his small chest not moving. He wakes up panicking, checking on Liam in the next room, making sure he's breathing. The therapist says the nightmares will fade with time. 4 years later, they haven't. But Liam is alive. That's what matters. 7 other children are alive. 2 aren't. And Marcus thinks about them too. The 3-year-old and 5-year-old whose mothers were too scared or too addicted to get them help. Their names were Tyler and Sophia. Marcus says their names every day so someone remembers they existed. Ashley writes letters from prison. Marcus doesn't read them. Liam will decide what relationship to have with his mother when he's older. For now, Marcus is enough. Father, mother, protector. Everything Liam needs. The Iron Brotherhood has a memorial wall in their clubhouse now. 9 children's photos hang there. 7 survivors, including Liam and Emma. 2 angels, Tyler and Sophia. Under the photos, a plaque reads, "Protected by leather and steel. Remember the fallen. Save the living." Marcus teaches his CPR classes in the clubhouse twice a month. He shows participants how to check for breathing, how to do chest compressions on children of different ages, how to administer naloxone. He makes everyone practice until their hands hurt. Because one day someone in that room will need these skills. One day a child's life will depend on whether a stranger knows what to do. Detective Chen became a friend. She stops by the clubhouse sometimes to update Marcus on cases, to show him how many children they've saved with better protocols. She says that Operation Safe Haven changed how Portland handles drug operations near children. Faster responses, better coordination with child services, mandatory naloxone for all first responders. The little girl Emma received a civilian commendation from the mayor for her bravery. She stood on stage, shy and small, while the mayor explained how her quick thinking saved 4 lives that day. Emma's grandmother cried. Marcus cried too, thinking about how close they all came to losing everything. Liam knows his dad is in a motorcycle club. He thinks it's the coolest thing in the world. He has a little leather vest, a junior member vest that says Future Iron Brotherhood on the back. He wants to ride motorcycles when he grows up. He wants to help people like his dad does. Marcus tells him that helping people is what the club is about. Not the bikes or the leather or the tough image. It's about showing up when someone needs you. It's about having the courage to act when everyone else freezes. It's about being the person someone runs to when they're terrified and don't know what else to do. On quiet nights, when Liam is asleep and the clubhouse is empty, Marcus sits on his bike in the parking lot and thinks about parallel universes. In one universe, Emma doesn't find him. She runs home scared and does what her mother told her. Stays quiet. In that universe, Marcus picks up groceries, drives to Ashley's apartment 2 hours later for pickup, and finds his son dead on the floor. 4 children dead. No arrests, no justice, no happy ending. But that's not this universe. In this universe, a 6-year-old girl broke the rules because saving a life mattered more than following orders. In this universe, Marcus's Army medic training kicked in when it counted. In this universe, paramedics arrived with naloxone and knew exactly what to do. In this universe, Liam lived. The Iron Brotherhood has a saying now, one that Marcus coined. Leather and steel protects the innocent. It's on their patches, their promotional materials, their community outreach programs. Because that's what happened that Tuesday afternoon. An innocent 4-year-old boy, playing, touching something he shouldn't, collapsing, dying. And leather-clad bikers with steel hearts refusing to let him go. Marcus doesn't talk about the moment when he collapsed, when he saw Liam on that floor and his knees gave out, when his training warred with his terror and somehow training won. He doesn't talk about the 3 seconds where he couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't do anything except stare at his dying son. But he thinks about it. He thinks about how easy it would be to freeze in a moment like that, to panic, to call for help and wait instead of acting. He thinks about how many people don't have medical training, don't carry naloxone, don't know CPR. He thinks about how many children die because the person who finds them doesn't know what to do. That's why he teaches. That's why every Iron Brotherhood member carries naloxone now. That's why they offer free training and free naloxone kits to anyone who asks. Because children are dying from fentanyl exposure at horrifying rates, and most of those deaths are preventable if someone knows what to do. Liam runs up to Marcus now, his dog chasing him. "Daddy, watch this." He demonstrates some trick the dog learned, proud and laughing. Marcus watches his son, alive and healthy and happy, and feels gratitude so overwhelming it brings tears to his eyes. 4 years ago, this child was blue and dying on a dirty apartment floor. Today, he's running and laughing in the sunshine. The difference is measured in minutes, in knowledge, in one little girl's courage and one father's training. Marcus kneels down and hugs his son tight. Liam hugs back, not understanding why his dad sometimes holds him a little too long. That's okay. Liam doesn't need to understand. He just needs to be alive. That's enough. Like and subscribe for more stories.